Just checking everything, making sure everything's fine. Might hear me repeating here. Okay, audio looks good. So I'm just gonna mess around a bit. Post that I'm actually streaming in some places. Just getting things set up on my side. Okay. Just gonna swap around a few characters, see if anything is sold, so I can gamble. Just random duty officers that I've got lying around. Bunch of random, like, very rare ones. Anything below very rare I usually discard. And gear-wise, I'll hop back over to that character here in a moment. Just gotta sell this stuff quick. Okay, so this character's got a fleet bank full of a bunch of, I'm only trying to get rid of the ultra rare gear on it. The epic stuff I'm still working with. I got some phaser cannons, anti-proton, I've still got some disruptor stuff. Kelvin Toyer. A lot of these disruptor cannons. Sensor-linked phasers? I don't think I have any of those. Like, that are in here. I think I've used most of those. I'm waiting for the, sensor link stuff to be added to the Infinity Lock box. I've got a ton of the weapon packs I'm waiting to dump over to the sensor link stuff. Or, well, the Discovery weapon packs, I should say. But yeah, it's mostly a lot of cannons, dual heavy cannons that I've got. So some regular phaser, some disruptor stuff, a little bit of anti-proton. It's like old Mark 7 failed upgrades, but they're still decent weapons you could use. I use a keybind to go to character screen. It's my numpad 9. Let me pull it up here. So it's just / go to character screen. So if you want to bind that to a specific key, be just like that right there. I've got a video going over like the specific keybinds, so let me pull it up here. Get the link of that. Howdy everyone. Yeah, there's a video with that specific keybind and a few others. But the contraband keybind, which is what that video goes over, it's... So I've got numpad 7 set up so I can just... It's the begin assignment, basically. So if I have the stuff to actually start the assignment, all I have to do is hit numpad 7, starts the assignment. Numpad 8 I have set up to refine the lithium, but I'm out on this character. Hello, Leopold. And nothing is selling today. Thank you for the follow, Trekkie12. Yeah, with a lot of the videos, I try to just keep them short, simple, straight to the point. I don't like taking a subject that can be covered in a minute or two and, you know, taking it out to be an hour like some do. That, you know, taking videos, making them longer than they need to be is a waste of your time, and it's a waste of my time. I just listed stuff on most of these characters, so I'm gonna be bouncing around a bit. I've got a video I'm working on for accuracy overflow, but I'm running the numbers on it by some of the STO builds mods just to verify that what I'm saying is right. Because that's the other thing I hate with some videos is you get a lot of people saying things that are not accurate. Let's see here. So personally, I just buy the contraband. You're looking at about 40k per unit, so 10 million per stack. If you have a bunch of characters, make that 10 million investment per character. That's gonna last you 50 days, and if you wait for a promo pack like we've currently got, that's gonna give you a really nice return. But if you want to farm it, doing the marauding stuff in sector space, the marauding, like the raid assignments, the pillage certain things or whatever, raid the freighters, raid the colonies, whatever, those are your best bet, but that's a bit of work. You gotta fly around to a bunch of different sectors. Personally, I really just find it's better to just buy it. But that's not always the option. With the marauding stuff, if you take a few characters out, have them just sitting in sector space, and just doing those marauding assignments, you can do pretty well. Like, I would say one character could maybe supply 3 to 4 characters every day. Maybe. Maybe a bit more if you're lucky, but if you're wanting to farm it, that is basically your only option. I'll hop over and show you those specific missions when I get a chance here. Let's see. Yeah, I think this character's in space. Thank you for the follow, Galaxium. Let's go up to space here. So in sector space, go to department heads, first officer. This only applies to Klingon or anything Klingon aligned. Feds get screwed over with it. So first officer assignments, you only care about the marauding stuff, and when you get the freighters or anything, don't bother with anything that says Vulcan on it, because you're not going to get contraband off them. So all these raids, these scavenge battle wreckage, they do not get you contraband. They get you other commodities that aren't worth messing around with. What I find usually works pretty well is you get right on the border of 4 sectors. So let me try to turn and get over there. Every time you change sectors, you want to reopen that little window. But as soon as you see that pop up that it's a new sector, just open it again. Start up your assignment. But if you get right on the border, you can easily, like, go right in between the 4. Turn, and yeah. Let's see. The bombards are good. You'll figure out which ones are good and which ones aren't pretty quickly once you run these. just that little jump there, and then turn 90 degrees, go to the next sector, keep repeating. What I'll do is, with some of these characters, I'll just leave them right here on a border like this and log out of them. It's more efficient if you go and do a bunch of sectors, but that's a bit too much time, so just go somewhere up like near around Earth, like right here, Vulcan, Sol, you know, right over in that area. Or down near Ryza. Any of them work really well. Yeah, they give you a random amount. Let me look here. I think I might have a few. Oh, nope, I haven't been playing this character. Let me swap over. I did some of these the other day on the stream I did on YouTube on Friday. But you'll get some that give you like just 2 or 3. You'll get some that might give you 5. Yeah, if you look here, 1 or 2, quite common. If you get a crit, you're gonna get a lot more, obviously. But you see with the Vulcan freighter, it just gave me normal commodities that we don't care about. Lots and lots of 2s. There's a crit that gave 5. You also get a lot of prisoners, so be ready for that. But it's basically just spamming those over and over. And on a bunch of KDF characters. That's if you want to farm it instead of buying it. Outside of that, you have the elite slavers, but they nerfed those so much. Yeah, you might get up to 30, you know, every cycle you do it. It all depends on how lucky you get with crits. Alright, there's a message there. Did something sell? I need to gamble. Nope. Yeah, before I made that contraband video I did like a month or 2 back, I'd had a stockpile of enough contraband to last me a full cycle, but I wish I would have stockpiled more because the prices went up a bit too much. How many of those consoles I got? Not enough. I need to buy quite a few more. I'd like to have at least 1 to 200 before the Discovery lockbox is gone. Or not Discovery, the Deep Space Nine lockbox is gone. This contraband that I have here, this is enough to last me 50 days with all of my characters. You having 18 would last you, what would that be? About 130, 140 days maybe. By the way, if anyone wants a nice market tip, which I said on stream on Friday, if you want to make some EC, we've got this XP weekend coming up. These research assignments are cheap on the exchange right now. Usually they go up to about 4 to 5 million per during XP events. And right now you can get quite a few of these research assignments for like 2 million on the exchange. Let's check again right now. Yeah. 2 to 3 million is what most of them are at. These things are gonna go up. They always do. I sold some of them for 10 million per during the last event. Okay, so who wants some duty officers? I need to clear some off some characters. If you want some, just put your @handle in chat. They're not going to be anything super valuable, but they are purple. Put your @handle in and I'll send you some. Okay. Guessing there is a symbol there? Yep. Leopold. T'Challa. I'm just choosing random Doffs here. I don't care what you do with them. It's better than me discarding. Hello, Windsor on. See here. By the way, how's my audio coming through? I was messing around with the settings. I found the little foam cover I had from a mic too. Okay. Let's do something. Classic ISA or something. Yeah, everything looks good. We'll see how terrible I do here. My piloting has been off quite a bit the last few weeks. Yeah, I hope this is an easy run. I've got a bunch of survivability stuff on, so it should be fine. 197.7k. So terrible. My positioning's just been off in ISA for most of the last few months. Easy could be easily another name for this game. Hello, Kurt Durang Quest. Also, if anyone's doing DPS stuff, I just sent out the latest batch of invites for the numbered channels a few hours ago. If anyone has new records since then, I'll probably send out another batch Saturday. But if you can't wait, just let me know. I'm gonna set up a different ship, one that I haven't flown much. Swap to a different character. That one's having DPS issues. Because I can't seem to remember how to fly it. Let's see here. Any advice for a phaser cannon build? Well, I'm about to swap to one, so... Phaser's working pretty well right now. I was running a mix of phaser, disruptor, and Polaron not long ago. One thing for sure right now is with cannons is you want to stack your accuracy overflow, so the weapon sensor enhancer, that's plus 42 ac rating, the domino for a phaser build especially, because that's another plus 20, and the hostile acquisition console, which is found under the engineering consoles on the exchange. It's really cheap, it's from the Deep Space Nine lockbox. That's another plus 30 accuracy, so you can really get your ac rating up, and that helps with your crit chance. On my escort here, I'm running the colony tac consoles instead of the Spire ones because the survivability increase is so substantial from a few of these. In fact, I'm going to take this build into an ISA here. Once the cooldowns are good. But, like, what ship are you running a phaser cannon build on? No, the Spire consoles are still best for DPS. It's just that when you want survivability, which I find I often need in pugs, the Spire console, or not the Spire, the Colony consoles, that's where they come in. They have a little proc on them that procs when you hit any energy weapon firing mode ability, so scatter volley, rapid fire, fire at will, beam overload, stuff like that. It will give you this heal, which is very, very good. Those come from having a tier 5 renewable colony. And for some reason, this thing is tier 5 here, but at the side, it says tier 4 still. That's an annoying bug. Okay, so I'm going to go do another ISA with this and see what I do there. The Bajoran T6... I don't remember if I actually flew that ship. Yeah, the Bajoran one from the anniversary event is what I imagine he's talking about. Oh yeah, it's the only Bajoran one. And I still do not know why this mission, Welcome to ESD, just randomly popped up 2 weeks ago. This character's been around for ages. 2012. And it just randomly popped that mission up about 2 weeks ago. I'm dead here. I'm pulling way too much threat. $164K. Ugh. Yeah, the Domino console was certainly worth it off that ship. I don't think the trait was that good, I don't quite remember. And hopefully at some point I'll be able to fly an ISA again and not perform so poorly. Got Mark 15 gear and I'm doing worse than earlier this year when I had Mark 14. Let's see here. Do I like the Jem'Hadar characters? I mean, they're nice, but the issue with the Jem'Hadar characters to me is the issue I'm going to have with any new character, including the upcoming Agents of Discovery ones. They're too expensive. Like, I have builds I'd love to do, like especially on the Klingon side. I'd very much love to do, but I am not going to spend the amount that I would need to gear up a ship to my standards. I'm not going to go buy another bug ship when I already have 2 T6 bug ships for the traits, you know, on other characters. I refuse to invest in stuff I have already purchased that was that expensive. I'm running low on dill. Dogs going nuts in the background. Hopefully you guys aren't hearing that. Let's see here. Yeah. I mean, the best thing about the Jemadar stuff was the duty officers. Or not the duty officers, the bridge officers. Where are they at here? The Vanguard ones from the large pack. The science and engineer ones have a 1% crit chance and like 2.5 severity, so for a Fed or Klingon that doesn't have access to a full suite of SROs, they're pretty nice. But I've got way too much invested in some of these characters. I've got how many of the promotional ships is what really drives me nuts. I've said multiple times that those need to be account-wide unlocks, and that's something I hope they eventually do. I hope this tier 6 mastery eventually leads to it, but right now it's just annoying. Let's see here. Do I have the new Herc promo ship? Yeah. I did a full stream on that on my YouTube. It's not that great of a ship. Yeah, everything should be good with this. I'm gonna go nuke a CC. I have not done that in a while. Yeah, I did that the day it came out, I believe. What do I think about the new summer ship? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the summer ship. Yeah, I'll upload this to YouTube later. See you around, Cal. I did a mine build on it with the first day it came out. I just used low buy to get it because I'm too lazy to go and do the summer event. I got 100k out of it, but like anything can do 100k. 100k is not exactly hard if you know what you're doing. Let's see if I get a good spawn on the Volians here. Nope. Someone's an AFK farmer or something. Yeah, this ship that I'm in on this character I pretty much built this ship, or this character entirely around this ship and this playstyle for the exotic DPS stuff. I did it on attack because it's for PvE DPS, and this game is just simply so tactical focused, it's not even funny anymore. What I really like about this ship is... Let me move away from that thing. Is this little ability on it. So this is the Sona Collector from Star Trek Insurrection. And it actually deploys its solar sails. It's not the best map to show them off in because there's no sun, but they glow pretty nice. Let me beam out. But I would say that this is... I like this ship more than the Anorax. To me, this is... But if I had to choose between the Anorax and this ship, I would probably choose this ship. Yeah, here's the solar sails when there's actually a sun. Nice and shiny from one side. All reflective and stuff. It's a nice ship, though. The trade-off of it, I'd love to have on some other characters. Collect and consume, so... Whenever you use a drain ability, you do a nice chunk of damage to targets, you pull them closer, and then you get a nice heal based off of it. Yeah, I've got the Anorax on 2 characters. I've only got this ship on this character. This is a really nice ship. It gets a lot of hate, and it doesn't deserve it. Like, very few people have even covered this ship. I was looking around when I initially got it just to see what other people had to say about it. And, I forget the guy on YouTube. He does all the videos with the, like, the shield visuals, but the issue with that guy is he doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to actual, like, endgame builds. He did a build with, like, this ultimate meta build on the Zentaur, and every time I see someone link it, I bash my head against my desk. It's so bad in some areas. What's my favorite promotion ship? Oh, man. I would say, as of late, I have had the most fun with the Sona Collector. You know, the bug ship is a very nice ship too, but it's not as good as it could be. If it was a 5.2 layout, it'd be much better. Let's see. I have not messed with the Zentaur yet. I have not messed with the Cheshire. Or the Amory. The Amory just has a really bad layout. The video, yeah, is the guy that does all the videos where he's showing off the shields. I can't remember his name, but he had this like ultimate meta build on the Zentaur, and it was just so bad. I don't remember the guy's name. You know, I have no issue with him. He does a lot of good videos. It's just when it comes to actual endgame builds and getting to that meta stuff, he doesn't know what he's talking about in so many ways. Yeah. He gets videos out really fast, though. Show us the console? Yeah. So this ship, the Sona Collector, comes with the thermolytic injector. It launches a little thingy at the target, which causes a shockwave that expands to 10 kilometers. And anyone hit by this thing they get some radiation damage, but then there's this massive damage resistance debuff. Scales up really fast. It's quite nice. And with the 3-piece, which I've got on this thing, the cooldown on that thermolytic injector in all the Sona consoles is only a minute. It's crazy good. Yeah, STO and refined. Yeah, I've got no issue with the guy. It's, as I said, it's just another one of the many STO YouTubers that doesn't have the best understanding about, like, the meta part of the game. There's not really many good options when it comes to, like, the really high-end DPS stuff or PvP. Any of the really high-end content in the game, high skill level stuff, there's not many good options. Yeah, you can see the trading console. I had to watch his video on this ship just to see some of the specifics about the console, the trade, and some of the stuff, because some of this isn't even on the wiki. People saw the stats of this ship originally and just nobody went out and got it. Like, the only other person that I know that has one of these ships and is using them for endgame content is Tenor. And he bought it because I was having so much success with it in Hive runs. Because one of the other nice things about this for the high-end DPS HSE runs is the console off of the Sona Command Science Vessel, which I've got slotted here, this Deep Analytics Sensor Package. The most important part of it, the reason it's so good, is the very bottom line on it, right above the 1-minute recharge. While it's active for 10 seconds, it will remove the longest duration buff from your target. Well, from all targets within 3 kilometers of you. So that's really good for the Queen and HSE to clear the feedback off. Yeah, Leopold, when I like go through, watch random STO streams now and then, and it's quite sad. Most people that play this game have no idea what they're talking about when it comes to meta stuff. Most of the people that think they know what they're talking about have no clue, especially. Let's see here. Yes, I know David is very much a noob player. I think he needs to go check out XBC Stoner's stream, because XBC Stoner is, as we all know, the most experienced, most skilled player in the game, right? Let's see here, I don't even know what character to swap to. I got stuff listed on like 30 characters right now. I'm trying to liquidate a few billion. Well, David, you'll be very sad to know that I can't help you with any PvP things, because I've really not done much PvP in this game in the last... most of this year, basically. I wonder how salty Stoner gets now that we banned him in the parser. If you go and upload a parse with him in it, in an STO combat meter, it'll pop up denying his upload, saying that he's a scammer. I had Alfie add that in about 2 or so months ago. Well, nothing's really selling, so I guess time to go open a few lockboxes with what I've got. $50K DPS, David? Man. You're like 2 fleet supports. You're getting up there, man. And nothing. What a surprise, guys. Well, at least the Endeavor gave me some mark packages. Those are always handy. How many KDF dill farms do I have? So I have 51 characters total. I have maybe 6 or 7 total that are like geared and that are played every now and then. And silver, oh man, those are the commie channels. I don't deal with them. Not after all that stuff they did years ago. But well over 40 of the characters I have are simply for standing at a security officer and turning in contraband. Well, it's easier now with the Jemadars. He's just, can you skip the tutorial with the Jemadars? No. Well, I have keybinds set up for all the doffing. Also, I am actually getting too many of these aux to bat technicians now. Got like 20 of them listed. Some kind of cheating. You worry me, David. think I'm gonna start to list some of my research assignments out. The prices on them are all gonna go up Thursday throughout the weekend. I'm gonna, let's see here. The temporal ones I'll post for 200 because I had them sell that high last time. Actually, let's be greedy and see if these go at all. There's not many research assignments on the exchange, so I really won't be surprised if some of these end up selling. They did last time. Like 100 listings. Someone could come through and already clean this up. Most of them are at 3 mil and below. If I have my ship sell on my other character, I'm gonna grab as much as I can. Well, Leopold, you know what the answer is. It's, as Omega would say, stop being poor. That is the solution, right? Oh man, who is doing this? I love it when people put things up at really low prices. Thank you for the follow, Etchpol. I'm like mispronouncing everyone's name. Let's see here. Terrible. Okay, who wants some Doffs that hasn't already asked for some? If you want random duty officers sent to you, purple ones, just like leave your handle in chat here. Need your in-game handle. Like right here, @Leafin, and if you have numbers, you know, all that. I really don't care what some of these are worth. It's not worth my time trying to sell some of these. You're getting a ton of Tholians. Well, you see, I know the truth about David Leopold. I know he's super rich. Let's scroll down to all these things. I don't need a lot of these drowned ones. Yeah, no problem. Clears out space for me to open up more Doff packs. Trying to think here. All of these numbered characters are out of order, and it's driving me nuts. Okay. Anyone want more? Oh, hate 3K. You want more? Okay. Yeah, I know, it's terrible. There's 30 numbered ones.
For a limited time only, I will be awarding bonus favors to anyone who comes help me locate temporal artifacts.
Also, if anyone has any, like, STO questions, like DPS stuff or something, I can answer that. There we go. Something sold. Not much, but there's another 75 million to blow. That is once the ship loads here. Sona Intel Battlecruiser for cannon DPS. Let me go look at the loadout on that again. Yeah, that can handle cannons. It's not the most ideal layout, but it should be able to handle just like a pure rapid fire or pure scatter volley build, but not both. It can't do a hybrid. That's 5-3 layout. It's got an Intel seat. I think with most of the game, you're going to be better off with just the pure scatter volley. Scatter volley is much easier to get into. Rapid fire, if you want to go with the full pure rapid fire build, it can get very costly. One of the pure traits, or one of the core traits, I should say, for rapid fire is actually a billion EC off the Jemadar Recon or Strike ship. Time is it? 17 after. I'm not gonna get a ship. Yep, no shit. Ships don't usually drop at 17 after anyways. I should have waited for someone else to win before blowing open those boxes. Oh well. Let's see here. Open after someone else wins. Give it, if you want, you can do it right after, or give it a minute. Like wait for it to go over to the next minute. You'll often notice that ships drop in lots. Like it's not guaranteed, but there's two things for sure that seem to help with opening lockboxes. Certain times, but most certainly opening around the same time someone else wins. So we've got a bunch of data on my Discord, which is linked down below. If you go on there and look at the Just Win announcements channel, I'll let me see. Pop this up on the screen. But you'll see quite often where ships drop in groups. Like, let me see, a good example here. Here's two, right after someone wins, someone else wins. Or the minute after. You'll see it a lot with the times. As far as we know, this should apply to anything in the game that has like is a grand prize type thing. But like I did this quite a bit. What I was doing before the promo pack event started is I would open 50 Infinity lockboxes at 1 after. If I got a ship at 2 after, I would then open 20 promotion packs. And doing that, I did that 5 times, and 3 of the times I got a promo ship alongside the normal Infinity T6 ship. Overall, throughout the last event, I ended up getting... Well, it's easier for me to just swap to the character. I opened something around 1,100 to 1,200 promo packs over the last 3 weeks. And I did that entirely just free to play, flipping the ships as I got them. Tenor's had very good luck pulling right after someone else wins. But here's 480. These ones that stack to just 10, those are from opening the promo packs. The C-Store R&D packs, for some reason, only stack to 10, whereas the lockbox ones stack to 900 or 299. So we've got 48 here, 45 here, another 24 there, and then I opened 100 earlier. Yeah, just was flipping so many promo ships. I started with the 3 promo, like the 3 I pulled. I used one to get the Herc Dreadnought, and the other 2 I just kept flipping. Opening packs, flipping to get more. Yeah. Just kept repeating until I was completely out, and yeah, that sustained me for quite a bit. It's better luck. Because I can go and open I've done it before where I'll open 100 at a random time, get no ship, open right after someone else wins, get one in the first 10 or 20. I have that happen quite often. But it's nothing is guaranteed. It's just that based on what we've seen, if you go look at the data on the Discord in that channel, you'll see that ships are often won in groups together. If not in the same minute, you'll see it where it'll be someone will want to ship at 51, 52, 53, stuff like that. I'm just checking to see if any more is sold. Just keep in mind that the Tribble test server seems to be just slightly off from holodeck with things. And they do like to screw with some stuff over there. Like if you open a Phoenix pack over on Tribble, it's always going to give you an epic. Let me see here. Need things to sell. Does anyone want any KDF duty officers? If so, put your @ handle in chat again, because I need to clear some. Some people probably think I'm crazy giving just random Doffs away, but it gives me room to open up more Doff packs, and I truly am not going to go through the effort of selling most of these things, because most of them I'd flood the market with. Yeah, no problem. A full ad? Wow. Well, Dragon, you should go watch my 150k DPS Universal Escort build from pre-season 13 on YouTube. You see, because it's an outdated build slightly, and it's titled Free S13 in the title, I put ads every 2 minutes in it, and yeah, that video's gone like $40 now. That thing shot right up when I put an ad in every 2 minutes. It's an outdated build, but people still watch it like mad. Probably a bit of a dick thing to do, but oh well. Nobody else want any duty officers? Probably. With the Twitch stuff here, I don't like get any of the ad revenue or anything like that. I don't do enough on Twitch to be a partner or whatever to even have the subscribe button. I'd have to stream on here a bit more. Yeah. I think to get the partner status, you have to do like 2 or 3 streams a week and be consistent about it, which I could do. It's just that most of the time there's nothing to do. Like, Guestio is a very repetitive game. I don't... The issue I have with streaming this game, even just doing it, you know, the once a week, is there's not much for me to cover. Cryptic has effectively killed off most of the endgame community over the last few years due to their lack of progress on fixing issues. I could do Rainbow Six. My issue is, as of late, my aim went full potato as of last night. And I was making some stupid plays the other day. You have a lot of the little icons there. Kicks, yeah. Kicks, Forsen. I was just watching some of the majors earlier, some of the games that they had going on. Some pretty nice angles and some pretty crazy plays, that's for sure. And some big throws from some of the teams. Okay, so I know I already, mentioned the duty officers, but I have some weapons here. I'm only getting rid of the ultra rare ones and the very rare here. But does anyone want any of this stuff here? Like phaser cannons, coalition turrets. Not the R&D packs, just the weapons. So there's a lot of disruptor dual heavy cannons. You need that Kelvin turret. Trekkie 12, can you put your @ handle in? You probably mentioned it above, but there's so much chat that I don't have it. And do you want some phaser stuff? Go. I wish the mail was in the same room. Yeah, no problem. Hatchpal, what stuff you want? Do you want disruptor stuff? Anything specific? Thank you for the host, Nightshade. Plasma. I don't think I've got much plasma. Probably none in here. Yeah, I'm not seeing any. I generally avoid plasma stuff because it's underperforming. Every time I have tried plasma with serious investments, it always performs significantly worse than every other thing. Phaser disruptor, okay. Let's see the mods here. Yeah, these are a mix of mods, but you can always re-inch whatever you don't like. I'm just grabbing random amounts of stuff. Oh. Well, the embassy consoles really didn't have much to do with the plasma weapons themselves. When back before season 13, before all the big changes, but really back then with the fire at will making all the procs proc a ton, I did a full plasma build with beams, and even with everything over procking, I had 2k from the plasma fire from the plasma proc from a 200 and something k run, which was just abysmal numbers. Nobody else? No problem. It's a very high quality texture there on that little icon. No. Plasma is just simply... I would say plasma is the worst energy weapon type at this point. Most of my characters are heavily invested in disruptors nowadays. And I've got a few with phasers. Is there a best place to stand to open boxes? You know, some people think there is. Personally, I Usually I'm just standing on my bridge or near an exchange on Deep Space Nine, New Romulus, something like that. So I'm gonna go mess around with a ship I have not messed around with at all yet, which is the Maquis Raider. How do I change ship like that? Just open up your status window and bottom left in sector, well, in any system space, switch starship at bottom left. Okay, I'm gonna do, let's see here, standard disruptor. Where's my Terran at? Colony deflector. Competitive engines that trigger based off heals. I guess I'll do a full competitive 3-piece. So Nightshade, if you go check out my Discord linked down below, there's a channel on there specifically for tracking win announcements, and something that we've been seeing this even before when I did a test like this last year. The boxes like to drop, or the ships like to drop in lots quite often. So you'll see like a group of them, one in the same minute or the minute after each other. You'll often see that, but there's also times that they're not guaranteed, but there are times that certainly seem to have a better chance. Like the example I gave before was before the R&D promo pack started up, I was doing 50 lockbox keys and 20 promo packs. I did the 50 keys at 1 minute after, and if I got a ship, I would open 20 promo packs at 2 after. I did that 5 different times, and 3 of the times I ended up getting a promo ship following me getting the T6 Infinity lockbox ship. Because they like to drop in groups, and especially if not immediately after, the next minute. It's just weird how it works. I mean, we don't know anything for sure, but it sure seems like there's something there. I'm gonna worry about my other consoles first before I go and fill that. Got too many consoles. That is very true. Never enough consoles. Okay, let's set up the bridge officers on this thing. No. Let's go side. The Universal Console slot is a unique ability on any ship that has a Commander Miracle Worker slot. So there's not many ships that have that. You've got the... Let me find the bundle here. The big Miracle Worker bundle that they had come out last year. Then you've got the Zentaur, and then this Maquis Raider. It's just one of the special perks of this specific seating. Yeah, rating's a little bit low, but that's because I don't have Domino on. Let's see here. I think I'm going to do pure rapid fire. Yeah. There's many things we expect, but Cryptic likes to throw us curveballs. Let's see. I got beam down. Oh, that box actually managed to come in handy. Okay, that is my tack that needs that. I think that's the only one I need on here. Yeah. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. So let's go look at this further. I'm not running scatter volley, so I don't need withering barrage. I'm going to do preferential targeting, so that's why the fire at will is on. It's also there to trigger the stuff, or the colony attack consoles. Okay. Sorry, just keeping up with some chat there. I gotta set up this tray, which is fun as usual. Dual Ox to Bat, because Ox to Bat is just simply amazing. Sometimes it's fun to mess around and hop in some of those fun discussions happening about DPS stuff. My tray is a complete mess, don't follow it. It's set up in a way specific to how I usually run stuff. And it is not something I would recommend you follow. It's just something that works for me. So I did a video on that also. If you go to my YouTube channel, it's right below. It's let me find the video here. The exact name on it at least. It's from a week ago. I'll link it here. And today Did I not change over to Intel while I was there? What am I doing? Okay. I'm about to get screwed over hard. I can sense it. Pure rapid fire build and an ISA pug. What could go wrong? Other than everything. I mean, 182k, I mean, it's decent. But, man, I'm rusty at this. I am very, very rusty at this. Also, once again, if anyone wants any random duty officers sent to them, purples, random Fed and KDF ones, just leave your @ handle in the chat and I'll mail them to you. Stupid thing moving me around. Need to get this ship leveled up the rest of the way. I want to see how bad the trade is. Yeah, I kind of I'll use some stuff here when I swap back to a character where I've got the Doffs. I don't care what you do with them, I just need them off my character. I need the space. Not even gonna comment on some of that 75k change. Yeah, let's look at my crit chance. Let me pull up the parser. Should be pretty high. Yeah, 46 there, and that's a bit lower than normal. Let's take a look here. Yeah, here we go. So, along with using the Spire tactical consoles, I am stacking accuracy consoles. So I've got the weapon sensor enhancer. That's a big one. That is a low buy store console. It gives you plus 42 AC rating at Mark 15 Epic. Then I've got the hostile acquisition console on. Let me just swap back to this character quick so I can just show the consoles. So I'm on a Romulan. I've got really high innate crit chance. It's not as high as it could be because I've got these colony attack consoles on for the survivability they provide. But I'm sitting at 25.2 crit chance resting here. Now on top of that, because of how some of these skills work, I have 146 starship weapon specialization. Now, this applies only to weapons, so it does not show in your global crit chance stat. So when I go and look at my skill tree here for weapon specialization, every point of this skill gives 0.04 crit chance. So if I go back here, 146 skill, I pull up a calculator. So I'm getting 5.84 crit chance for my weapons, for all of my weapons from that skill. And I didn't mean to close it out there, so add that on to the 25. So there's 31 just off that. Then on top of that, I have, what is it? I'm at 110.5 accuracy rating here, so I've got more in combat. But with accuracy overflow, which only really works well with cannons, it does not work with beams and fire at will. With fire at will, it only works against the primary target. None of the secondary targets you benefit from it, so it's basically something you only really want to chase with beams. But back on topic here. With 110.5 accuracy rating, I should be getting, against most targets in PvE, which are static, I should be getting most of that as overflow. And each point of accuracy rating gets you 0.125 crit chance. So let me just calculate this here. That's another basically 14 crit chance I'm getting off of that. And then I'm getting 0.5% crit severity for every point of back overflow. So at 110.5, all I gotta do is multiply this by, actually let's just go 10.5 times 0.5. Then I'm getting 55.25 crit severity off the AC overflow. So that's on top of the base crit chance, and then the rest is just like random luck and stuff. So that's why the crit chance is so high. I'm stacking a bunch of items for accuracy overflow, so the weapon sensor enhancer console, like I just mentioned, that's plus 42 AC rating at Mark 15 Epic. That's a low buy console. This hostile acquisition one is plus 30 accuracy rating, and this is cheap on the exchange. It's like 700k to $1 million right now. You can find it under the engineering consoles because it's there for some reason, even though it's a universal. And yeah, there's a few other things I'm probably missing, but that's just some of the big things. Then I've got some I'm getting from the intelligence tree also. Thinking about it here. Let's see, it'd be upon missing your target. So you basically can get plus 20 accuracy rating off this. So you can really stack up the AC overflow, and cannons with scatter volley or rapid fire take full advantage of this accuracy overflow. It's really, really good. I could also use the domino on this, but I've decided to go with the protomatter just for some more survivability. But it's not uncommon to see these high-end min-max DPS builds nowadays, on a Romulan especially, hitting in the 50 to 60% crit chance range. That's been pretty common for the last 2 years, I want to say. Okay, now I'm gonna go swap over and start mailing out some Doffs. Once again, if you want some random duty officers mailed to you, just leave your @ handle in chat. Icon, I've already got you, and I'm gonna send you some. Just decide what character I'm gonna go to. And thank you for the follow, Icon. It's going to be a lot of the same Doffs over and over, but that's... I open a lot of duty officer packs, so I end up with a lot of the same Doffs. And a lot of them aren't worth my time trying to sell. You got nobody else right now wanting any? I've already mailed quite a few out. Thank you for the follow, Stargate Wars. Is the Plasmonic Leech worth it? So the Plasmonic Leech used to be really, really good, but it's fallen out of favor due to them nerfing it, and they're just being better consoles. Power levels aren't as important as they once were. One thing that a lot of people overlooked back with Season 13 was them fixing the amp buff on warp cores. Before, the amp buff would actually amp on itself and give you a really large damage buff, but now it's fixed to be a 3.3% Cat 1 damage buff per stack, which is basically nothing. So you don't have to worry about getting all of your power levels up anymore, and really just with so many builds nowadays, you're seeing people run at least, you know, a single emergency power to subsystem ability. Ideally, they're running 2 of them and chaining them. And then you also see Oxtabat, and that usually covers it, so I wouldn't bother with the Leech anymore. I don't run it myself on most things. And we only got 2 people wanting any duty officers. Nobody else wants any free duty officers. All you gotta do is put your @handle in chat, and I will mail you some. I need to clear some space. They're random ones, and I really don't care what you do with them. You leave your @handle in chat, I'll send you them next time I'm over on a character where I can do that. In the meantime, I'm going to go and level up my ship that I've had for the last 2 months, and this is the first time I've actually even flown it. Okay, Borg red alert. back pulse. Such a terrible ability. These rapid fire builds are terrible against AoE targets where there's a bunch of things grouped up, but when you got a single big target in front of you, man, these rapid fire builds are amazing. Let me tell you. They're just super expensive to get into because you need this go for the kill trait, which is 900 million to about 1 billion off the recon or strike ship. It's the only downside. Okay. So anyone got any like DPS questions, anything like that? Need channel invites to DPS channels? I just did a bunch earlier. Epic is this like gold. Goldish color there. Ultra rare. It's like a purplish. I don't know. It's its own little color there. It's a mix of colors. So nobody else wants duty officers, free ones? Like all you have to do is just drop your at handle in and I'll mail them to you. Because I've got a lot more to dump on how many characters. Need to make room so I can open up more Doff packs and lose more EC. The rarity color is the same no matter the faction. Okay. Hello, girl. So I'm gonna... Oh, the Doffs? I don't know. They're a mix of Federation and Klingon ones. I really don't care what you do with them. You can sell them, discard them, whatever. gonna turn this down to advance just to make it go a little bit faster. The reward scaling for XP in this game is really messed up. I don't know why they do it, but for advanced versus elite, when it comes to the XP you get from killing critters, you basically spend like 4 times the time killing mobs on elite for like 1.5 to 2 times the reward. I don't have the spreadsheet like right in front of me right now, but it's something stupid like that. But it's just most efficient to grind things on in advance. With Argala, all you gotta do is go into wave 4. At the end of wave 4, you just warp out, go right back in. Keep doing that. Best way to level ships right now. As you can see, much faster. Hello, Stargate Wars. And let's see, how far do I have to go? 7,000. Do I do any ground combat? No, not really. I am not really a fan of the ground combat in this game. Usually when I want to do ground combat, what I'll do is pull up a game that focuses on it. So just like any FPS. I also really burnt myself out on ground early last year when I did the Wave 400 Sompek. Ever since that, I pretty much just never look at ground. Most of my characters like don't even have ground traits slotted. And I sometimes am not even speccing into the ground skills. Yeah, Rainbow Six Siege, PUBG, Battlefield. You know, I'll mess around in those if I want to do ground stuff. I don't... But with STO, I'm pretty much here just for the space side of things. Ground is certainly a good way to grind marks and quite a few things, though. I will say that. Back when I used to do a bit of ground, it was amazing how much faster you could grind marks, dilithium, salvage tech, doing all of the ground queues. So much faster than space. And so much easier and cheaper to do. That is this ship fully leveled. Let me take a look here at my cooldowns. Oh, I can go back into ISA. Let's see how bad I do. I really wish they'd increase this fleet credit cap. I'm almost at the cap again. I was hoping to be able to take that down. 182k is better than the last, but I'm still not too happy with it. It's just a matter of me being rusty with positioning and ISA. Okay, let's take a look at the crit chance there. I was basically doping on that left transformer. I was trying to pop it before the generators were down, but this doesn't have the punch to do that. I need to bring in like a Husnock or something with a fully buffed rapid fire setup to do that. Crit chance, hovering right around 50% on the weapons. Yeah. I could have done better. The console off this thing did a whopping 1.25k. Like most consoles, it is not good. My heals, I had 1.5k from the 3 Colony TAC consoles, which is decent given the current setup I have on this. Fire at will can't be spammed as much as Beam Overload to help trigger them a ton, so it's good for what it is. Those 3 consoles certainly helped keep me alive, though. Now swapping back to other characters just to see if anything is sold. Because I'd really like to gamble some more. It's very disappointing. So, with the fleet credits, what I do when I'm about to hit the cap is sort of what I'm doing here, where I'm clearing out the duty officers to make room to buy some of the purple ones from the starbase. One Doff sold for 65 mil. Good. Actually, while I'm here too, I think I need to fill some stuff. Now to beam down and gamble. Ah, wait, I'm not at new round. And what a surprise, nothing. Well, it's because I'm being stupid and gambling with a small amount. Like, I'm going and doing, like, 10 to 20 keys at a time. If you want to win stuff, you can't go in with a small amount like that unless you're really, really lucky. Me doing what I'm doing is just me being stupid. I'm being impatient. So it says there's like 60 viewers and like only three people put their @handles in for the free Doffs. Did nobody else really want any free duty officers? All you gotta do is put your @handle in the chat and I'll mail them to you. They're random, very rare Doffs. I need to get back into a better ship though. Okay. Yeah, I'll send you all some here when I swap back over to a different character. I'm just going through and debating what ship I'm going to swap back to. The Scimitar. Could do the Jem'Hadar Light Battlecruiser, but that ship sort of sucks. 4 bridge officer seats. Just terrible. I guess Scimitar. Scimitar is just too good. I'm gonna mail out some of these Doffs. $60-something people watching and only 3 of you want free stuff? What is going on? Yeah, pretty much. Indeed. I had to refresh it earlier because I was nobody responding to me offering free stuff. It was like it was confusing me. Okay. You're getting a lot of Tholian Doffs. We got to keep the Tholian trend. Anybody else? Anybody? Yeah, no problem. I mean, yeah, I don't care if you guys asked for some before. I mean, either people take some of these or I'm going to end up vendoring them. I'm not going to bother trying to sell a lot of these things because they're just too much of a pain to move. Just take these Tholian Doffs and get them out of my sight. Nobody else. There we go. More people putting their at handles in and getting free stuff. I have a ton of Tholian warfare specialists that I don't need. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Swapping back and doing some stuff then. Actually, I'm gonna go nuke another CCA. Cooldowns look good. Here we go. Yeah, this ship is just a beast. Such a great ship. It's like we were saying, we were talking about the promo ships before, and the more I think about it, I have to say that for its uniqueness and how fun it is, the Sona Collector is probably the best promo ship that I've had. Especially with the full 3-piece on it from all the Sona ships. Let's see if I get a good spawn. If for good CCA runs, the entity has to be right up against Tholian spawn, and it's not. This is a bad run. Oh, come on. Yeah, that tractor beam messed me up right there at the start. It's unfortunate. Yeah, it was a bit slow. There are exotic builds out there that are set up specifically for nuking CCA, and they can do it in like 10 to 15 seconds. I've used those builds in the past. This build is not set up for that type of stuff. What this build is set up for is more of handling elite PvE queues. So I take this into Hive Space Lead, I can take it into Corfez. Pretty much any elite queue, I can take this in and it can hold its own. It's basically what that build is. And it's a fun ship to fly. The difference between this one and a bursty CCA one, like a proper one, is the bursty ones have everything set up. You have all the traits set up for a quick burst. Whereas with this thing, or with the Sona Collector, I have it set up, my traits are set up for handling cooldown reductions. I've got peak efficiency on there from the VOMP for cooldowns. It's set up for more sustained things rather than burst. How far have I gone on the Kobayashi Maru? So I was a big fan of No Man scenario back in the day, or No Win scenario back in the day, and I used to farm No Win scenario. I was very sad when they removed it for their false claims. They claimed that it was being completed in like 6 minutes on all difficulties, but that's just because some of them don't understand things and apparently don't know how to read their own metrics, because at the time that they were saying that No Win Scenario Elite was being completed in 6 minutes, the top DPS teams at the time were taking an hour. So they were basically just pulling numbers out of their ass. I'm not a big fan of the Kobayashi Maru because it's not as good as the old No Win scenario. The Kobayashi Maru relies entirely around having a certain console at the high end, the Protomatter Field projector off of the Lucari anniversary ship from 2017. If you don't have that console on, it gets to a point where you simply cannot heal it. I think it's a rather stupid mechanic, and I'm just not a fan of what they replace No Win Scenario with. The old No Win Scenario on Elite was fine, and what they did to it, I just have no interest in it. I don't really bother trying in it because it's just a cheap knockoff to me. Don't get me wrong, I think it's, it's in itself, it's neat how they have it set up. It's just that it's got a sour taste to myself and a few others because we had so much fun back in the day with the old No Win, and then they come out with this and introduce mechanics in it that really suck. That's my thoughts on it. I don't know. They've removed a lot of things over the years and had no replacement, and they claim that they'll have something eventually, but it's just not happening with this game. Thank you for the follow, Nasty Jurors. Did I get the Golden Ferengi ship? No. I did not. They did, however, send me a nice little mug about a month and a half ago, because I had worked on them for the that Faction Allegiance campaign. I did the video on like the top 5 reasons or whatever that Romulans are so amazing. I'd love to have the golden ship, but it's not something I'm going to get too worried about. Yeah, it's nothing special. It's just a nice ship to have, and it's sort of like a little status symbol. I will say I was slightly surprised I didn't get one, but I heard so many different like theories on how it was being obtained, how they rewarded it. People. I just gotta respond to a message. So I'm going to say what I have said a dozen times already. If you want free duty officers, just put your @ handle in chat so I can mail you them. It'll be some random, very rare duty officers. It says there's 74 viewers now, so is it going to be more than the same 3 to 5 people that have been asking or putting their @ handles in for the last how long? Aw, Krill Darn. Krill Darn, I don't know if I've ever had the chance to tell you, but you provided me with some good entertainment about a year and a half ago. So, you have earned the Doffs. Yes, no problem. And when I look at the chat list, there's like a ton of people, but nobody's putting names in. Let me see what happens. I'm gonna change the title of this. Put your @handle in chat for free. Very rare. There we go. Title's updated. Yeah, it keeps fluctuating it around. It keeps going between like 50 and 70. It went up to 80 at one point there. Everyone's lurking. Brett. I know you need more duty officers. Everyone's getting all these Tholians. I've opened way too many of these Tholian duty officer packs. Guess let's see if people read the title when they click it. I mean, I don't know. It's not many people responding. It's scary. Bunch of zombies or something. It's okay to talk, guys. Any purple Doffs out of those? Probably not. Nope. So we're gonna be getting some nice changes for these duty officer missions here. These ones that give you a 2-hour long buff for certain skills. So I had reported a bug with a certain one of these 2-hour mission buffs to one of the devs about 2 weeks ago, and she took care of it really fast. And she also went through and what she said she did is made it so this will be coming in a future patch. All of these things currently, if you get one, they're active on the ground, but what she said she's gonna do is make it so that if they're space ones, they only show up in space. So if you're on the ground, you're not burning down their cooldowns. So that's going to be a really nice change. Oh yeah, I know Tenor is ultra poor. He needs all the help he can get. I'm gonna even give him an uncommon. Yeah, what you need is this stuff called V-Rich. That's all you need. You can just show it off in chat, showing how rich you are. By the way, if people want to know how to link Doffs in chat, that's how you do it. Go up to the mail console, and then from there you just drag it into your chat. Okay, let's go blow some more stuff up. If those Tanan are expensive, then I will crash the market because I have how many of the thing? I have both of those. Mere Guardian. I can't claim the Command Assault Cruiser on this character though, because Romulan. Yeah, you should tell Tenor that I'm poor and I could use a Zentar, a Sheshar. Yeah, those for sure. So long to die. My ISA positioning is just absolutely abysmal. just that I'm not in the right position. I'm not, like, maneuvering these things fast enough. I used to do this a ton, and then I would say I pretty much took, I mean, I did a few runs here and there, but I largely took like a 6-month break from the game, I guess I would say. 4 to 6 months, where I was playing this very, very limited. I need to do a different ship though. Tenor has no clue what that's about, probably. Thank you, Busen. Thank you. Oh man. Might get some of that cheesy long-range targeting sensors buff there. If that gets a crit. Be able to do a lot of DPS. Have I tried to do a challenge trying to make a DPS build out of a tier 1 ship, like way back in the day, but not anytime recently. It's not something I really cared much about. I mean, the tier 1s could still do pretty well. You could certainly, you can easily beat most of the player base performance-wise with the tier 1. You can beat most of the player base with a shuttle if you have it set up right. Do I make foundry missions? Yes, I have a few foundry missions. But the ones I have, let me pull them up here. Org Infestation is one that I really like. That one, if you do it on Elite, that is really challenging. It's 25 cubes on Elite, so it's a lot of HP to burn through. Then the other one I've got up right now is Exotic DPS Test. And And this is simply just to test EPG builds. Or many AoE builds if you want. I don't have a specific shuttle build together. No. Not for the Yellowstone especially. So this Husnock is one of the best platforms for pure rapid fire build. It's quite crazy what this thing can do. Okay. Just make sure all my traits are together. Just hit me there. That's unfortunate. The moment I take Zol off, I get screwed over by some mines. I was about to nuke that thing too. Now I gotta go in with no alpha. Yeah, Wreck pretty much sums it up. pretty much whatever I shoot is just gonna die in the volley, especially on this easier content. It's just unfortunate there that I got hit by a pretty heavy hitting torp right off the bat. That completely ruined my alpha strike. What does the two-piece from the Husnock and Miradorn do? Okay, let me pull it up. So it gives a little bit of hull pen, but then it makes it so I can use both the Husnock and Miradorn consoles faster. They have lower cooldown. So the consoles from the Husnock and Miradorn, I think this one's off the Miradorn, the heavy particle focuser array. I might be wrong. No, that's off the Husnock. Okay, it shoots a charge that does okay, but it's nothing special. Then the Miradorn one, that has some crit chance on it, and it's got this really nice like flanking one on it, or flanking buff. It's really nice. Yeah, it's a really good console. This ship, just in this configuration, is pretty squishy. It's fully offensive. What is the worst ship in the game, in my opinion? I absolutely hate the Dyson Science ships. I refused to even get the free one because I didn't want it on my account. I just really disliked those ships. Oh, the D4 is really nice. Yeah, the D4 is great. I've also got the D7 on this character. I used to use that quite a bit. It's great shit. Now, best ship in the game, on the other hand, it's right now it's a tie between the Scimitar, Vengeance, and Jemadar warship. Them three ships are just amazing right now. Well, there's not really much else to do. Just checking to see if anything is sold so I can gamble some more. But I'm not having much luck with sales. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna put it in one more time. If you want to get free duty officers, drop your @ handle in the chat. I'm not going to be on too much longer, so if you want to get in and get more, even if you've gotten like 50 of them, like when Soren has there, you know, just put your @ handle in. I really don't care. Happy Immortal. It's been a while, man. How you been? Happy. It's been an interesting last, I'd say, 18 months. For me, a lot of social stuff came to a sort of abrupt halt about year and a half ago, I want to say. A lot of the social stuff with within the game. Yeah, I think you have a good idea. But other than that, it was quite a bit of burnout for me. Like, my ISA positioning is just complete trash right now. Diplomats can be useful. I'm gonna send you a ton of ISIS. Dang, I don't have many duty officers that help fire at will here. Yeah, it's a shame. I was hoping to have some of the fall cooldown reduction Doffs, but I don't. I've got them all listed for my gambling stuff. Yeah, pretty much whatever was here when you last played is pretty much what's here now. I guess that's sort of why I got burnt out on the game there for a bit, is because really we are doing the same thing still today that we were doing in 2014. They have failed up to this point to deliver on giving us like any viable endgame alternatives. They keep doing the time-gated queues that nobody likes. Though this swarm one wasn't too bad. Does get a little annoying though. Evening rain. Yeah, there's no elites on the new stuff. They did increase the HP quite a bit recently, so like Hive Space Elite, they bumped the HP up for all of the elites and all of the queues really, but the elites really took the big jump. HSC went from having around 100 million HP in really fast runs to having 170 million. Corfez is quite a pain now. They've made all of the elites quite a bit harder, which is good because before they were just too easy. I mean, you can go back a few years and see medals doing like HSC with just their hanger pets. That was just too easy. You haven't been able to do any of the Borg Elite queues other than the Hive Elite for Space and Ground since Delta Rising. They promised to introduce like an Elite version, and I mean it's 4 years later, and it's never coming. It's just never gonna happen. It's quite a disappointment because those Borg queues are just so good. There's a reason the Borg stuff is played so much more than so many of the other queues. It's not time-gated stuff like they do quite often now. You can go through it at your own pace, and it's against the Borg. People like fighting the Borg. But instead, we've gotten all these trash queues over the years. Yeah. Usually when I see that they've put in a new queue that's got a time gate, I'm just not even gonna bother. It's just not worth the time and effort most of the time. Well, even with the changes, Happy, you don't need a tank in Hive Elite. You can just go straight DPS, though having a Psy is extremely important in any good run, or some way to remove the feedback pulse off the Queen. You gotta have that in a high-end run. But really, the big change from when you were playing is everyone's on cannons for DPS now. Nobody that is doing DPS stuff is using beams anymore. It's all about them cannons. I have no idea about the Arc Quest stuff. I don't use the Arc Launcher and I never messed with it. People were probably getting too much free Zen out of it. Like, Happy, if you want to see some recent HSCs, I've got some on my YouTube. It's sort of similar to how it used to be. I mean, we're blazing through it fast with the high DPS team. It's just, if you're not with a good team, it's going to be painful. Especially being enemies seem to be hitting harder. Yeah, Happy, and dude, also if you've got Discord, want to chat there ever, I've got that set up for, like, specifically for my stuff now for the YouTube and stuff. Do I think the Hypermass PvP map is going to happen eventually? No. No. Do I have any good build and strat for Battle of Corfez? Strategy-wise, go in with a good team. You need a lot of single target DPS right now, it seems. When I did it on stream a week. It was either last week or the week before, with Tenor and I forget who else was in there. I think Brett, Busen, Zero. I might be wrong. But I went in there and we just did the rapid fire stuff and just annihilated everything. Having a really high-end rapid fire build is really good for that, for sure. Well, guys, I am getting a bit tired, so I'm going to call it here. I am going to push this over to my YouTube channel when it lets me, and yeah, if you want duty officers, I might still have a few more. Just comment on that video on YouTube when it goes live, and I'll probably mail some more out. I wasn't expecting to go for 3.5 hours here, geez. And yeah, Happy, I am on weird hours myself. I woke up at 9 p.m. last night. It's currently almost 5 p.m. And that's because I've been trying to fix my sleep schedule. Yeah. It's just been a mess for me. I've got to get on track because I start up classes here pretty soon for the fall semester. And I've got actual physical ones rather than just online. Yeah. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and yeah, if you want more duty officers, please go comment on this video when it goes on YouTube, because I really do have to clear a ton out. Well, yeah, European hours basically right now.